This tragedy is very unexpected. We expected him to die by the bull, not by the bullet.
And she didn't have to take his life. All he wanted was his things to go to the next bull ride.
This is the story of Demetrius Omar Lateef Allen, aged 27, a professional bull rider otherwise known as Ouncie Mitchell, who was gunned down by his jealous ex-girlfriend Lashawn Denise Bagley, aged 22. She could not handle him trying to move on and getting with another lady. She shot 7 times through her door while Demetrius was trying to get his belongings from her house, striking Demetrius in the process. This happened just hours after he competed in a bull riding event at the Utah State Fair.
How about that?
Demetrius Omar Lateef Allen, better known as Ouncie Mitchell, was in his prime when he was killed.
Hello and welcome to Twisted Crimes. Subscribe and hit the like button for more stories.
A woman wanted for the murder of a Houston area professional bull rider has been arrested in Fort Bend County. Law enforcement took 22-year-old Lashawn Denise Bagley into custody on January 3rd on a murder warrant after she left Utah during the investigation into the shooting death of 27-year-old Demetrius Allen, better known as Ouncie Mitchell.
Based on this story, we will be heading to Salt Lake City, Utah. Salt Lake City is the capital and largest city in Utah, with around 1.2 million people in the metro area. Utah lies in the west of the United States and is famously known for its mountains, mourns, and magnificent national parks, like Zion, Arches, and Canyonlands. Demetrius Omar Lateef Allen, age 27, better known under his professional name as Ouncie Mitchell, was a professional bull rider on the PBR Tour. He was ranked 23rd in the world in bull riding with the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association. Demetrius was a talented cowboy and a familiar face on the Velocity Tour. He also competed, and won, in the Bill Pickett Invitational Rodeo. Demetrius became a professional bull rider at 18 years old and qualified for the 2019 PBR World Finals that same year. He competed alongside his father at the Bill Pickett Invitational, a traditionally all-black rodeo, in 2021. Demetrius was a resident of Houston, Texas. He travels around the world for his bull riding competitions. He was the father of a 4-year-old daughter who loved him so much. She loved her daddy. She loved him and loved him and loved him. It was always, "My daddy this, my daddy doing this, my daddy took me fishing," said the girl's mother.
Good, Anala? Say hi to Jesse. Hi,
Jesse. He was described as a very cool, level-headed and nice person.
Integrity, respect, humorous, adventurous. He was a force. He was a spirit.
He also likes to go to church and read the Bible.
Here's what the scripture says. He that finds a wife finds a good thing. Didn't say he that finds a girl that he's attracted to, who he then begins to date, who he then calls his girlfriend, who he then buys a ring, proposes, and makes her his fiance, who he then marries later, who becomes his wife. You're not a wife when I marry you, you're a wife when I find you. You become my wife when I marry you. But a wife is not the presence of a ring, it's the presence of your character.
His cousin described him as someone who would give you the shirt of his back. He was said to have been riding animals since age 2, when his mother entered him into a sheep riding competition. He went on to ride his first steer at age 5. He was described as a one-of-a-kind man who loved to ride and also loved to fish. Demetrius had dated a young lady named Lashawn Denise Bagley, age 22, who lived in Salt Lake City, Utah. They were in an on and off relationship. They see each other when they see, and they kept it like that. They did understand how to work out what was going on between them, and there was no stress in the on and off relationship. As things would have it, there was a competition that came up in Salt Lake City, so Demetrius traveled to Salt Lake City to compete in the PRCA rodeo at the Utah State Fair and arranged to stay with Lashawn during his trip. On the night of the event, his family and friends were there to cheer him on as he competed. After the competition, he wanted to unwind for a bit, so Demetrius and Lashawn, as well as another woman, met up at the state fair before the three went to a club near downtown Salt Lake City. According to a police affidavit, Demetrius began showing interest in the other woman. When Lashawn saw Demetrius and the woman getting closer together, she freaked out and stormed off to the parking garage. Demetrius then followed Lashawn to the parking garage to let her know he would collect his things and leave when she drove off, nearly hitting Demetrius with the car. Demetrius and the woman then ordered a ride share to take them to Lashawn's apartment, where they tried to get in contact with her by texting, calling, and knocking on her door, but to no avail. All he wanted was to get his bull riding gears and leave. So when the woman saw Lashawn peek out of her blinds and Demetrius approached the balcony door, which was something he wished he never did. Upon sighting Demetrius, she was very furious he was still with the other woman. She opened fire through her front door. She fired 7 times, striking Demetrius with some of those bullets. The woman Demetrius was with called 911 and told the operator that Demetrius had gone to grab his stuff and that shots were fired, leaving Demetrius on the ground. She shot him, she opened the door and she shot him, the woman told the operator. When police arrived, they were able to securely apprehend Lashawn. Lashawn reportedly asked if Demetrius was all right and if she would be able to use her firearm after the incident after being taken into custody. She reportedly added, "After seeing my ex with another woman, I went home and placed his belongings by the door so he could retrieve them from my apartment." Police noticed during their conversation with her that her speech was slurred, and they could smell alcohol on her breath. A blood test reportedly showed she had a blood alcohol concentration of 0.08. There is no indication of any forced entry or attempted forced entry into the apartment, arrest documents stated. Lashawn was charged with murder and felony discharge of a firearm in Salt Lake City.
A professional bull rider from Texas is dead after being shot in a domestic violence incident in Salt Lake last night.
Police say the man rode in last night's rodeo at the Utah State Fair. The shooting happened early this morning in the ballpark area near 900 South and 200 West.
Fox 13 News reporter Emily Tenser spoke to the man's loved ones who say his career was just now starting. She joins us live tonight from Salt Lake Police Headquarters. Emily.
Bob, Kelly, Lashawn Bagley, 21-year-old woman here in Salt Lake City. She was arrested earlier today. The victim's real name is Demetrius Allen, but he was best known in the bull riding community and among his loved ones as Ouncie Mitchell. He leaves behind a 4-year-old daughter. Sunday night, Ouncie Mitchell was in Salt Lake City doing what he loved one last time. Hours later, he'd lose his life after police say an on-again, off-again girlfriend shot him through a glass door.
I don't understand, and I don't know how long it's going to take me to understand. The guy that gave the shirt off his back to anybody, why would you take his life away?
Mitchell told his best friend and cousin Ezekiel this was going to be his year. His career in professional bull riding was skyrocketing.
Went from relatively unknown on the standings to within a matter of months, he was 23rd in the world.
Life on the road meant months away from his 4-year-old daughter, but that never stopped him from being the best dad he could be.
She loved her daddy. She loved him and loved him. And it was always, my daddy this, my daddy doing this, my daddy took me fishing.
Nitisha Haywood says he showed Nyla how to follow your dreams.
She loves her dad, and so having to break that news to her was a huge distraught.
He was a quiet cowboy, but his actions were loud, and so was the impact he left in the arena and on his family.
She was initially released after being arrested because detectives needed to conduct additional investigations.
Ouncie's family wants to make it clear that while he may have had some dealings with her, Bagley was not his girlfriend.
She fled the state even though she was warned not to leave the state. An arrest warrant was issued for Lashawn on 1 count of domestic violence murder and 9 counts of felony discharge of a firearm.
The family of a professional bull rider from Fort Bend County now mourning his tragic death in Salt Lake City.
Yeah, police there saying that a female acquaintance killed Ouncie Mitchell while he was in town for the Utah State Fair. Jason Miles is live from Fresno with more from his grieving family. Jason.
No, he took up after his dad. His daddy was a bull rider.
Nathan Jean Mama Sugar Sanders is the matriarch and is among those shocked by news of Ouncie's sudden death.
Because he's a nice person.
Laquita Allen is his mother, still trying to process the loss of her only son.
This tragedy is very unexpected. We expected him to die by the bull, not by the bullet.
Police in Salt Lake City say Ouncie was shot and killed early Monday morning at this apartment complex where he'd been staying with a female friend while in town for the Utah State Fair. Apparently, Ouncie came to collect his things after a dispute when she's accused of shooting him.
I really don't know the details. I don't want to know the details. My only thing is getting my son home.
Many in the bull riding community reacted to Ouncie's killing, including the CEO of Professional Bull Riders, or PBR, who offered condolences on social media.
He will be missed.
And mourned, his family says, by people around the world.
He has a bunch of support from everywhere.
Lashawn Denise Bagley was later arrested in the Houston area Demetrius's hometown. She was arrested by members of the Southern District of Texas U.S. Marshal Service who were acting on information provided by Salt Lake City Police. On January 6, 2023, the Salt Lake City Police Department confirmed Lashawn's arrest after confirming the arrest warrant had been unsealed.
A woman wanted for the murder of a Houston area professional bull rider has been arrested in Fort Bend County. Law enforcement took 22-year-old Lashawn Denise Bagley into custody on January 3rd on a murder warrant after she left Utah during the investigation into the shooting death of 27-year-old Demetrius Allen, better known as Ouncie Mitchell. Sion Rhodes live in the newsroom with reaction from his family tonight. Sion.
Keith, Salt Lake City police arresting Lashawn Denise Bagley shortly after the incident back in September, but they released her while they continued their investigation. That's when she left Utah.
He was like, well, ain't it? Are y'all coming? We're like, yes, as soon as you get close.
The Mitchell family was looking forward to seeing 27-year-old professional bull rider Demetrius Allen, known as Ouncie Mitchell, compete at the upcoming Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo.
He was a top 33, so he was in it. Automatically. We were all excited because we were like, yes, we can all be there.
Finally.
That was in our plan, but you know, God had other plans.
On September 12th, Salt Lake City police say Allen was shot and killed by 22-year-old Lashawn Denise Bagley. He was staying with her during a competition at the Utah State Fair.
Their relationship was not boyfriend-girlfriend.
Family members say the two got into an argument earlier that night, and when Allen went to retrieve his belongings from her apartment, Bagley opened fire.
He was outside asking for his things, and she took it upon herself to go and get her gun and cowardly shoot through the door.
Salt Lake City police said Bagley was initially arrested after the incident, but was released while detectives continued to investigate. And that's when she left Salt Lake City. She was arrested in Fort Bend County on a fugitive warrant January 3rd.
It's not the same. It will never be the same.
The family feeling closer to justice as they come to terms with life without Ouncie.
We are all hurting really, really bad, and she doesn't realize what she took from us. We will never get over this.
A spokesperson for the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo telling me they plan to honor Ouncie Mitchell with what would have been his Rodeo Houston debut by issuing the back number he would have worn during competition.
Lashawn is currently being held at Salt Lake County Metro Jail without bond. Detectives at the Salt Lake City Police Department are continuing to investigate the case. We hope Demetrius Allen gets the justice he really deserves. Our sincere condolences to the friends and families of Demetrius Allen. May Demetrius's memory be a blessing for his family and for all who knew him, and may his life and death be an inspiration and a turning point towards justice and increased protection for domestic abuse survivors and gun violence survivors. Please stay safe out there and see you guys in the next video.